Hello students, today we are going to jump to section 6-9 for a little bit of application in using percents for sales tax and discounts. Today you will be able to solve real-world problems involving sales tax and discounts. And because we are working with some pretty small numbers, percents and decimals, you are going to be allowed to use your calculator for these problems. So if you need to pause and go grab a calculator, please do so right now. Before we go any further, we need to talk about a couple vocabulary words. The first one is, what is a tax? And I'm sure you've heard of your parents talk about taxes, or maybe even your friends, or when you're shopping at the mall. But a tax is a charge that is usually in the form of a percent. And most of the time, a tax is determined by a government, whether it's local or national. And then the second one is, what is a sales tax? And so that's the one you're probably most familiar with. And sales tax is the tax on the sale of an item or a service. So when you go shopping, you are going to get a tax added on to your items. Here in Minnesota, we do not have sales tax on things such as clothes or groceries, but most other items do have a tax added on to them. In our first example, it states that if the sales tax rate is 7%, find the tax on an item that is priced at $9.49. And you will see here that we gave you some tips or some steps to solve. And the first step is that we're going to convert the tax rate from a percent to a decimal. So if we find the tax rate in our problem, we can see that it is 7%. So 7% written as a decimal. Yep, I hope you remember we're moving decimal 2 places to the left, and we get 0.07 or 7/100 as our decimal. And then the second step is to go ahead and multiply, and you'll see we put the formula right here. We have a tax rate in decimal form, so 0.07 or 7/100 times the amount of the sale. And in this case, we have a sale of $9.49. And when you do those calculations, you will get 0.6643. And we know that when it comes to money, we typically round to the nearest cent. So if I look at the 6 here and right next door, that is under 5. So I am going to round down or leave that the same. So my tax is going to be 66 cents on a $9.49 item. In the last example, we simply calculated the tax. But most of the time, it's not just the tax that we need to know. We also need to know what is going to be the total sale price. And so the total sale price is computed by adding the sales tax to the cost of the items. And we have an additional vocabulary word here, and that is subtotal. And you will notice that we got an actual receipt from McDonald's, and most receipts will first calculate a subtotal, which is simply all of your items added up. And then based on that subtotal, that's how your tax is going to be calculated. So the first thing that we need is a subtotal, and when we read our problem, the sales tax rate in Eden Prairie is 7.275%. How much would Kareem pay if he purchased a DVD for $15.99? Kareem only purchased one item, so his subtotal is simply going to be $15.99. So we'll go through the same motions that we just went through for the last problem to first calculate the sales tax on Kareem's DVD. So here in Eden Prairie, we have a 7.275%, and we need to convert that to a decimal. And when we do that, moving the decimal 2 places to the left, we get 0.07275. And we are going to use all those place values because we know in money that they're going to make a difference if you have large enough numbers that you're working with. So now that I have my percent as a decimal, then I can take my decimal or my amount of sales or percent of sales tax, times the subtotal, which for Kareem was just $15.99. And when we do that, we are going to get 1.163. And again, when we're working with money, we're going to round to the nearest penny. So my sales tax is $1.16. Now at this point, I'm not done because I want to know the total amount that Kareem is going to need to pay. So I have to go back and add my subtotal and my amount of tax. And when I do that, I am going to get a total of $17.15. Let's hope Kareem has enough money for his DVD. All right, the last minute Kareem decided that he does have enough money to buy 2 DVDs at $10.99 each and a pack of gum for $1.25. How much would Kareem pay if he purchased all 3 items? So in this scenario, he has more than one item that he's buying. So our first step is that we have to add up those items. So 2 DVDs at $10.99 plus the pack of gum will give us our subtotal. And that gives us $23.23. So we're going to use Kareem is still in Eden Prairie. So we're going to use the same percent for taxes, which is 0.07275, times the subtotal, $23.23, and that will give us 1.689. And we know that when we're working with money, we're going to round to the nearest cent. So the tax is going to be $1.69. And now I'm not done because we want to know the total, the total amount or the total amount of money that he needs to pay for his items. So we have to add the $23.23 plus the tax, the $1.69, and we get a grand total of $24.92 for all 3 items. The second application we need to talk about is discount. When an item goes on sale, the amount of the price decreased is the discount value. So when you're shopping and you have something that has a percent off, that is the scenario that we are talking about. Well, how do we find that? We find that by taking the percent of the discount times the original price. And so in our scenario, a pair of boots at Macy's regularly sells for $94.99. This week they're on sale for 30% off. What is the sale price? And this is a 2-step problem if we use this formula here for discount value. And the first thing I need to do is convert my 30% to a decimal. And we're moving the decimal place 2 places to the left. So we get 0.3 or 3/10. And so I'm going to take that 3/10, that's now my percent of discount, times the original price of $94.99. And that's going to give me the amount off, or $28.50. And I went ahead and rounded that since we've done this a couple times before. So $28.50 is the amount that I'm going to save, but that is not what the sale price is going to be. So my last step is to take that original price of $94.99 and subtract the amount that I'm going to save. And so my actual total is going to be $66.49. And that is a subtotal. That is prior to tax. So then we could go on to calculate tax. But right now we're just going to focus on the discount. Okay, this is the last slide, but first we need to show you a second way to calculate discount price. And that is to subtract the discount percent from 100, because we know that percent is out of 100. So if we take away that discount percent, then it will take us straight to our subtotal. And then we don't have to do the subtraction at the end to get to the subtotal. So let's go ahead and do an example like that. What is the discount price of a sweatshirt that is 15% off and was originally priced at $39.99? So again, my first step is going to be to subtract that 15% from 100, and that will give me 85%. I'm going to change my percent to a decimal, moving the decimal 2 places to the left. So I have 85 hundredths. And now I'm going to follow the formula and take my discount percent times my original price of $39.99. And when I do that, I get $33.99. And I'm done, because what I found was what 85% of the total price was, instead of finding the 15% and then taking it away from the original price. So my sweater now only costs $33.99. All right, finish up your note sheet and we'll see you in class.